Ahoy my crafty crew! I'm Captain Slipstitch and today I've got a swashbuckling tutorial for you.
We're going to make these mini crochet rings.
They're so much fun whether you're a beginner or more advanced. I love decorating them with mother of pearl charms to give them an ocean vibe. Make sure to stay until the end of the video because I'll share some inspiration to help you get creative and unleash your inner crochet designer.
For these water-resistant rings, I'm using 0.35mm micro macramé thread by Linhasita in the shade Antique Lilac. I'm also using a 1.25mm crochet hook. It's tiny but actually one of the bigger hooks I use, so this is a great project if you're starting to size down your hooks. I recommend a stitch marker, but it's optional. You'll also need a tapestry needle to weave in the ends and some scissors. A ring mandrel is helpful, but if you're making this for yourself, you can just try it on as you go. So let's get started. Begin with a slip knot, then chain the number of stitches needed for your ring size. I'll show the sizes and stitch counts here on screen. I'm making a size 52 European sizes, so I need 28 stitches per round, so I'm chaining 28. In the written instructions here on screen, you'll see chain X. That just means chain the number of stitches for your size. In my case, X is 28, and that number stays the same in every round. Alright, let's speed it up a little. Now the chain is done. Fold it into a ring. Make sure it's not twisted. Then insert your hook into the first chain. Join with a slip stitch and chain 1. At this point, the ring looks huge, but don't worry, that's totally normal. It will shrink to the ring size later. I promise. Normally you'd turn after chaining, but in this pattern we don't. We go straight into the first round and we do it with a single crochet into the first stitch. After the first single crochet, I like to place a stitch marker, totally optional, but it makes it easier to see where the round ends. Round 1 is all single crochet. I need 28 in total, so I have 27 more to go. And you'll do your stitch count for your size. By the way, I always insert my hook under just one loop in this first round. There's no true front or back loop yet, but I make sure there's one loop on top of the hook and 2 underneath. I just like how it looks in the final round. Okay, let's speed ahead and meet at the end of the round. So this is the last single crochet. You can see we're working in a spiral. The round ends a bit higher than it started, and that's completely normal. Let me quickly show you. I'm aiming for size 52, but right now mine measures 56. Sometimes it's even bigger at this stage, so don't worry. It'll shrink in the last rounds, and I'll show you how to adjust the fit if needed. We all crochet a bit differently, tighter or looser, but we'll get there. Let's move on to round 2. Take out the stitch marker. Now we continue with single crochet, but this time only working into the back loop. So here's the front loop. insert into the back loop. I highly recommend using a stitch marker here. It's repetitive and easy to lose track. Place the marker into that first single crochet of the round and continue like this for the rest of the round, meaning single crochets, always inserting your hook into the back loop only. So we're repeating this throughout this round and the next 2 rounds as well. So in total we'll have 3 rounds of single crochet worked into the back loop only. The stitch count stays the same in every round. For me that's 28 stitches per round, so I'm doing 3 rounds of 28 single crochets into the back loop, and you'll do your number. Let me show you what this creates. So you can already see this line forming, and on the finished ring you'll have 3 of those lines. They appear because we leave the front loops unworked. And quick time jump. Here we are at the end of round 2. As always, remove the stitch marker and then place it back into the first stitch of the next round. So I just finished it and place it back. And you already know what to do. Continue with your stitch count, working into the back loop. I'll finish this round, do the same for round 4 and skip ahead to the end. And here we are at the end of round 4. You can see that third line forming nicely. Now let's remove the stitch marker and move on to round 5. This is the final round on this side of the ring, and we'll finish it with slip stitches. Go back to working into both loops and make slip stitches all the way around. So this was the first slip stitch, marker goes back in, and now continue to the end of the round. Okay, let's finish it up quickly. This is the last slip stitch. Now's a good time to measure. If it's already too tight, you have to unravel at least the last round and start over with looser tension. If it's still too big, perfect. Mine is 2. Now cut the thread, of course only if it is too big as mine, and leave a tail long enough to work with. Pull it all the way through. And now let's join the round invisibly. Remove the stitch marker. Insert your hook from the back into both loops of the first stitch. That's where your stitch marker was placed. Yarn over with the tail. So just wrap it around the hook and pull through. Now go back to the last stitch. If you're unsure where that is, just pull it, and that's how you find where the tail comes from. Insert your hook from the back into the back loop only. Yarn over and pull through. And gently adjust. Well, that wasn't so gently, but Adjust a little and you'll see you have your invisible join. Now turn the ring over and let's give the other side that same neat slip stitch edge. Start a few stitches to the left of the starting stitch where the tail is. Insert your hook, grab a new thread and pull it through. For the first stitch, use the tail, yarn over with the tail and pull through both the stitch and the loop on your hook. That's how we secure the tail and the first stitch. Now make one slip stitch with the working thread. I like to pull the tail snug, which makes the first stitch very tight. So I place the marker into the second stitch instead of the first one. You can see it's almost vanishing, the first slip stitch, which is why I put the marker into the second. And from here on, use only the working thread and continue with slip stitches all the way around. Keep measuring as you go. This round defines the final size. You can adjust your tension slightly to get the perfect fit. I'll show you in a bit. I'll just do a couple more slip stitches. So after about a quarter round, I grab the ring mandrel. Mine still measures 55, even though I'm aiming for 52. A ring mandrel is most precise, but trying it on works too. So continue to the end. Now, when you reach the starting knot, pull the tail to the inside to keep it out of the way and keep going. Secure it lightly with your finger if needed. Two more stitches, 1 and 2, and now's the last chance to measure, which means you have to measure now. So if this is a gift, again use a ring mandrel. Mine now measures 52, so it's just perfect. I slide it on, don't force it down. If you have to pull, it's too tight, believe me. And remember, this last round defines the size. It usually is slightly tighter than the other edge of the ring, which is why we're taking this for sizing. And if it's for you, you can just try it on as I just did to see if it's the perfect size. Okay, so if it fits, cut the thread and pull it through. And join invisibly the same way as before. So removing the stitch marker first, insert from the back into both loops, yarn over, pull through, Then insert from the back into the back loop of the previous stitch. Yarn over and pull through. Whoops. Okay, finishing that one with my fingers. There we go. And adjust and done. So now for the thread tails, my favorite part. Not. I really hate weaving in the ends, but okay, that's what we got to do. So grab your tapestry needle and weave in the ends. Just go back and forth a few times. And check the front occasionally so you don't distort the stitches. If you're pulling the tails too tight, it's possible that you distort the slip stitches. So just check every now and then. One more time. And finally trim. And do the same for all remaining tails. Okay, let's speed this up. And here's your finished ring. When putting it on, it can help to gently twist it onto your finger. With regular wear, it may loosen slightly, so don't worry if it feels snug at first. I love stacking mine with other ring designs. More is more. Before we finish, here's a little inspiration. One of the easiest ways to get creative is color. Try different shades and ideas will come naturally. For example, when I used an old copper tone like this one, I suddenly wanted a more rugged pirate style design, and I came up with this whole new pattern. Another great approach is combining techniques. That's how I started adding jewelry findings like these mother of pearl charms. There are so many possibilities, so explore, experiment and follow your inner crochet compass.
I hope you enjoyed making these mini crochet rings and had fun watching. We shall meet again at the next crochet tide. Until then, smooth stitches and salty kisses. Mwah! Make sure to stay. I hope you had fun making these. We shall meet again at the next crochet tide. Until then, salty kisses and smooth stitches the other way.